In this video, we're going to talk about adding a KML or KMZ file. So KML and KMZ, they're actually related. They come from Google Earth. So if you've used Google Earth before, you may have imported or exported KML or KMZ files. So if you've already created some mapping points in Google Earth, you're able to actually bring those into ArcGIS. So that's pretty neat. So right now I'm just showing you an example. You don't need to follow along with this, but just as an example, if you had stuff in Google Earth already, you can actually do save place as, and you can save that as a KML or KMZ file. So the difference between them, KML, it stands for Keyhole Markup Language. KML can store place marks, and it can store the icons. It can even store like 3D models. It can get pretty complex. KMZ is just the zipped or compressed version of that, so it just takes less space, you could say. So you can see right here in the KML version of this, it's 215 kilobytes. The KMZ version is 14 kilobytes. So that just may be a consideration if you do the KMZ. It's a smaller file, maybe easier to send or upload or work with. So I've exported them as both KML and KMZ. We'll work with the KMZ since we saw that it was a smaller file. But you can download KML and KMZ files from all over the internet. It's very popular. This is just back to the NOAA page. We actually have KML files available here as well. So we could look at our Doppler radar, river gauges. There's some products here that are in the KML or KMZ format. So one thing about KMZ and KML files is that it is a little complex to upload them into Portal. So here I'm going to just grab that KMZ file, and if I try to import it, it's actually going to give me an error. It's going to say that's not an importable file type. So we actually have to add this a different way. We have to add it through My Content. But before we do that, I just want to show you an example. Let's say I was working on this map, and again, I'm just going to show the state of Florida. And let's say I changed my base map, and let's say I added a layer already to this map. And so this map is looking pretty good, and I say, oh, I want to add this layer that's a KMZ file. So I actually have to exit my map right now. So it'd be a good point to save my map right now. But I just want to show you one thing about the way Portal works is that I have to upload this KML file through the My Content section. So if I go and I hit My Content, I'm in my training folder right now. So I want to add this KML file, which I have on my computer. I'm sorry, we decided we were going to use the KMZ. It was a smaller file, so click on that. I can name that. I'm just going to use the default name again, and I'm going to use my shelters tag. So I click Add. So it's going to import the layer here for me. And then I could actually go and hit open, and it's going to ask me for two things. I could add it to the map that I was working on, or I could add it to a completely new map, or I could download it if I wanted to. But I'm just going to hit add layer to map. And there it goes. Those same points that we were using before. And you notice that the symbol is different than earlier. That's because that's the symbol that I was using on Google Earth. So with the KML file, it actually does keep that symbology. But we see we're actually at the map that I was at before. So I was able to leave this map and come in, and it saved the base map and that radar layer there. So again, it would always be a good practice to save, and we'll go ahead and do that. But just know that if you are working on a map and you need to leave the map to upload the KML files, you can kind of do that very quickly. You can just jump out, upload the file, add it directly back into the map. So we'll go ahead and save this with our tag. I'm going to call this KMZ. And then if your instructor gave you any tags, make sure you add those into here, and we'll save this map in our training folder. And there you go. So like I said, KMZs and KMLs are very popular because of Google Earth, so we're able to use those directly in Portal. All right, so stick around and we'll see you in the next video.